Ohio gozaimasu, Mitsubishi Lancer fans. Today we have the BM creations of the Mitsubishi Lancer EX2000 Turbo. Alright, it's been a while since I've had a BM creations, but in general I like their cars. I don't like they have opening doors on their truck models, so that's why I don't buy those. But the car ones they leave alone. They don't seem to have opening parts. Alright, so let's take a look at this guy. Some legal jargon there. Cool little retro magazine covers. It is an officially licensed product. This is a right-hand drive version. And it says it's red, but this is not red in my opinion. It looks like an orange to me. So it's a cardboard box. There's no rigid plastic display case, which is fine by me. This doesn't have sensitive parts historically to warrant such a case that you have to pay for. Unfortunately, this box is difficult to open. Alright, well anyways, while I'm opening this, Wikipedia says this is a second generation Colt that spanned between 1979 to 1987. These things are made in Japan, New Zealand, the Philippines, Thailand, Indonesia. So that's just the regular Lancer or Colt. I don't know exactly if these 2000 turbos were only made in Japan or not. There we go. Alright, so we got a little blister thing here. And what's nice is you get these extra wheels, and historically you can lower the ride height as well. Looking at this here, fastest laps here, we have a 2-liter turbocharged engine making around 170 horsepower, 245 pound-feet. That's 180 pound-feet. Sorry, Newton meters is different. So whatever, 5-speed manual, front engine, all-wheel drive. I did not know that. I would have guessed this would just be front-wheel drive, but this is a predecessor to the rally cars, or actually these cars were rallied, so which leads to another question later on. Will BM Creations make a rally version of this thing? I like how they have the text backwards so you can see it in your rear view mirror. Alright, so yeah, I would not call this a red color, what I'm holding in my hand. It's orange. Okay, it's got the wheels, looks pretty accurate. The roof line, yeah, the side view looks pretty good. And then yes, apparently they did have orange or red colors in the real world. So a couple other pictures I want to pull up here. This old advertisement, we're fast, they're furious. I wonder if whoever created the Fast and Furious movies, this was ingrained in their head somewhere along the way. And then here you can clearly see there's a rally car and a road racing car. So I wonder if BM Creations will branch out, you know, make some different wheel molds and maybe add some little bits to make variations like that. It'll be interesting. We'll start off with just this model here and we'll get into these wheels after the fact. Is this metallic paint? I don't know. I don't think it is. No, just looking at this magnification, it's just a orange color to me. And then the side molding here, it is raised and they printed on it this like black and I don't know, I can't say that's gold either. It's almost like a orange or brownish color, but you can see the Lancer in there very nicely. Unfortunately, you can see it also didn't print perfectly there, so that's unfortunate. The door handles here, they are molded, but they don't have the recess for your fingers really to get under there, so it's kind of weak. The mirror is rigid plastic. If you drop this model, there's a good chance that's going to break. It's nice that there's some silver paint in there, and then we have some molded details here for the windows, and they're painted black. There's a fuel filler door here with a silver painted lock mechanism, and then the wheels, they do look pretty close to those photos. I wonder if those are passing air, those tiny little things. Let's see if the flashlight. No, they're solid. You can just look at the back. There's no light getting through. But that's fine. I mean, they look like they're passing air, so that's all that really matters to me. They look realistic. The 4 lug nut details and the center cap, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, the center cap on this thing is just silver on the real car, so it's not black or anything. And then the tires, even though there's a tread, they don't look like truck tires, so I like that. There's the bottom of the treads, they look pretty good. We'll get back to the bottom later, I'm going to have to take it apart anyways. Going around to the front, the striping going around the side carries across to the front of the bumper. And so now we have a crooked license plate, unfortunately. Not anymore, so there's an easy fix. Very good. The Mitsubishi diamonds are raised and painted red. Not very bright red though, there just wasn't enough red paint. The headlights are pretty sweet. They're totally smooth on the outside, but you can see all the Fresneling there on the backside surfaces. And then you can clearly see there's a molded bucket with a light bulb molded in there. And then there's a separate divider for this turn signal area. And then, I don't know if they painted orange or if it's just this body color of this back there, but you can see some orange back there. And then we have some thin grill details here. And that was hard to see from an arm's length away, but they actually did print the 2000 turbo in the negative fashion, just like in that photograph. I think they have a yellow version of this model out right now with the same release. That might be a wiser choice to buy if you actually want to see that text, because this is red on orange red, so it's hard to see. I would assume eventually they're going to come out with a white version. That one might look nice. So this is painted orange. These turn signals are reflectors, but unfortunately it's kind of hard to see again because the whole body is reddish orange. These little recesses do have black paint in them, probably like brake ducts or something. So it's a really nice front end. You got some black printing here on the plastic for the molding, I guess, and it's like the real photograph. There's no black right here. It's strange. The real car just doesn't have black here. So it's interesting. Okay. And then no opening panels, so all the gaps look even and consistent. We can see some vent details here. Rib molded in. Seems nice enough. The molded in wiper blades are painted black and raised along with the molding here is actually painted on the casting, I think, this black. Yeah, it's not on the plastic. Well, here it is on the plastic. The plastic has the black molding. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the defroster lines. It's kind of hard to see in there because it's just too thick. You just don't see defroster lines on real cars. They're so thin, so that's an unnecessary waste of paint, I think. This rear wing is a separate plastic piece. It's pretty well affixed. It's not too crooked. There's a little bit of a flash here, but it's not too bad. Yeah, that license plate there, yeah, I wonder if that rotates. I don't know, but it's a separate piece, I think. It's sticking out. It's nice to see printing on it. And then the rear taillights, definitely they're redder than the body of the car. These are orange. Yeah, so you can see the color separation. That's good. And it looks like there might be some details, some sort of lens Fresneling on the back side of this plastic also. But what I'm touching out here is pretty smooth. Alright, there's a red reflector painted on and a silver backup light painted on. This is paint in here, this black. And then this black paint again on this piece. Oh, it's interesting. So this whole bumper, I think, is the same clear plastic, and they just painted it black. I think this is all the same here. That's interesting. Instead of like, I would think they would just have this black part be part of the metal casting and paint that black. I think that would have been smarter because I feel like too much light is getting through here, and you can kind of see it's not opaque, right? But it really should be. So that's kind of a strange decision on their part. Why would they do that? They could have easily had the bumper part of the metal. All right, well, we got a really small exhaust tip there, and it looks like it's kind of a small recess. It's pretty hard. It's a small exhaust tip. I mean, it's around the size of a dental pick, so it's like caved in on this side here as well. But oh well, it doesn't bother me too much. Okay, so the bottom here, it's nice that BM Creations takes credit for the model they made, and they tell you what the model that they made is, and they tell you the scale and where it's made. I think that's everyone. So the only thing missing, I guess, would be a copyright. So without the original packaging, you don't even know how old this is. I'm not even sure if the real packaging said a date of manufacture. And let's see, this tire's a little messed up. But anyways, the two screws, you know, we're going to take it apart, but you can also steer this thing. So if you want some more realistic diorama kind of vehicles or posing, scenarios, it's pretty good. I know rolling is a big feature for a lot of you guys. It's not not a free rolling thing at all. It's a lot of drag, but if you push down on it, that's, I guess, realistic. Cars have a lot of drag, deformation of the tires and all. The silver here, I guess, is supposed to go under there, and then it's coming back out here up to the engine. Yeah, nice detail, I guess. Let's get this thing apart and see what the interior looks like. And also make note of the ride height. I'm going to assume this is the standard ride height. There's a little bit of a gap above the tire, below the fender. We're going to try to lower it with the aftermarket wheels. Alright, we got a couple of rivets holding the windshield and side glass on. Very good. Alright, so the interior is pretty cool. Standard black molded plastic, but then they seem to have some decals for the seat striping. But there's nothing in the instrument cluster, unfortunately. There's no extra color like on the dashboard. Which I guess is okay. I mean, for the price of the BM Creations, the money's going into the fact that you can lower the ride height and you have a second set of wheels. So I think that's actually okay. It's fine. So looking at the second set of wheels now, what do we have? Looks like we have some optional license plates as well. That's probably why I was able to spin that other one. This one just says Lancer. So I see. This is the European plate, and this is, I guess, supposed to be more like a US plate, but the ratio is still off. It should be taller. It's not tall enough. The European plate, like this one, seems okay in its dimensions. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these. Maybe I'll actually just put them on other Lancer models. Anyways. So these wheels are like mesh BBS kind of wheels. And we have 4 lug nuts as well, so that matches up. And they're pretty well detailed, I guess. I mean, you have perimeter bolts there, and then the mesh itself. You're not gonna have air passing between those spokes. So still, they look pretty good. And then what about these treads? These treads are weird though. They look like spiked ice tires or something. Alright. So let's see if we can make sense of the replacements here. There's a shim here. I think that would be swapped out. 2 shims that are swapped out if you want to lower the ride height. So we have 3 screws. This front one is just held by 1. So there's no additional interior screws. This is like a plastic screw, not a machine screw. Whereas the screws for the actual diecast are machine screws. You can see the threading is much tighter. I have to try to remember how this thing goes on. So it looks like this is a staggered V. It's longer on the bottom than the top, so I'll try to have to remember that. I see there's a washer. Okay, washer on top. Then this piece. It's really on there. I don't know why it won't come off. Okay, well, alright, so that comes off as well. So those are the original ones. But there's this one. What makes them different? There's an index. I don't know if there's actually... There should be a height difference. But I don't know if I see... Oh yeah, there is a height difference there. Okay. So this is the one that was on the model. This one being taller means it's lowering the ride height. The wheels are sinking up into the diecast more. So if you want to lower it, you do have to swap this thing out. So that I shall do. And since there's an index, I put it in backwards because I'm a moron. There. Alright, so I think that's probably all you have to swap out there. Or not, because there's this piece. This is the one that was on the model, and this is the one. I'm just going to swap it out. It has to be different for a reason, right? Alright. So, the steering linkage was in the front, if I recall. Boy, this is fidgety. That pin just does not want to get in there, this kingpin. Oh, my bad. So it was upside down. Alright, so the steering linkage is still in the front, but it has to be on the top. I was putting it in upside down. Even so, really fidgety. Alright, that's in. That's kind of in. Alright, this new one here, we have the index in the right location. Oh, no. So push the pins out of the steering links. Maybe that's in. Not this side. And the other side fell out now. I'm going to have to come back. This is too difficult to do with the camera on my face. Alright, so that's done with. So the rear is much less fidgety, I think, because you can see there's just plates attached to each rear wheel. It's still the washer, so that washer will have to go back, but there's no like bottom space or anything like that. So right, and then you have this index thing here, so this one has to go on top, it looks like. And where is it? So sorry, no, I want the gold wheels. So this side here is going on the bottom, or it's going on first, the right side of the car. And you can see, well, there's the pick. There's a ledge here, so that's how you know this is the bottom piece, if you don't actually look at the index there. And so the other gold wheel, where are you? Here we go. So again, you have that index by the hole. So that means it has to go this way. So there we go, and you'll see it actually added camber. It's not vertical anymore like the stock one. And then I have to take that spacer back and find the index for that. Pop that on there. And then this is going to require a hand screwdriver so I don't strip out the plastic hole. I sort of feel like they could save some money if they just had one screw and had like a slot or something, or a different shape of indexing these pieces. Having two screws seems unnecessary. I mean, if you can do one screw in the front, and the front actually steers, I would think you'd be able to do one screw in the back for non-steering wheels. But anyways, it wasn't too difficult, I guess, right? So there's the extra parts of the original wheels. I will say I think I actually like the original wheels more, but let's just pop this on so you can see what it looks like. I gotta say though, even though there's a lowered ride height, I still see a gap almost between the tire and the fender. It doesn't seem drastically lower. but you can definitely see the camber on the rear wheels. There's not, I don't think there's any camber on the front, or is there? Let's see. It's strange. They don't want to be parallel. It's strange. Yeah, I feel like there's camber on this front wheel here, but not on this side so much. Actually, maybe there is a little bit. It's definitely more pronounced in the back. And then, yeah, there's a lot of drag going on. It's not a free rolling model. So here it is on a base. I almost feel like the rear wheels, well, no, there isn't any gap there, but it's got a big rake to it now. Yeah, so I'm not actually liking this custom look so much. I think I actually prefer the stock wheels, but I want to make note of this, and let me come back. Alright, so here are the stock wheels again. These are the stock, but this is the stock wheels with that lowering set of pieces. So the rear is still, I guess, the same as usual, but the front, it gives it a little rake. Not as drastic, though, I think, as the last set of wheels. But you can definitely see here, at least at the front, there's no gap showing anymore because of that lowered plastic and stuff. So I like this look more. This is one case where the original wheels, to me, look better than the aftermarket ones. Alright, let's get this thing spinning up on something. Alright, let's start the show with the first generation one made by Konami. This is called a Lancer 1800 GSR. And, yeah, that's the predecessor. Then I have a, what is this, a Lancer Evo 4, but this is by BM Creations with the aftermarket wheels. Being a more modern car, with bigger wheels, is much more pronounced, the slamming effect, right? So, but this did come with standard wheels as well, but in this case, I went with the aftermarket lowered ride. A different brand is an old extinct brand called CM's, and this is a 2005 Evo 9. And then the last one, that's not even 164 probably. Oh, it is. Actually, but it's a video game car. This is by Majorette. It's the Gran Turismo vision concept from that video game. But it does say 164, and I 3D printed my own wheels here. So it's actually a pretty big, like SUV kind of thing. So you can see, obviously, the more modern Lancers are a little bit bigger. Not drastically, not that one, but that definitely is. Alright. Alright, well, it's pretty much exactly what I expected from BM Creations cars. It comes with the extra wheels, all the details are generally nice. Only a minor printing problem on the side stripe there on that side, but everything else seems to be pretty good. No major defects. So, and then it's nice to even have a little interior color, even though you do have those extra wheels and stuff like that. So I think it's great. I think BM Creations should continue doing what they're doing. If they stop making opening panels on their trucks, I would probably consider buying those too, but I guess other people like those models. Okay, well, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next Mitsubishi video. Bye.